Hello, ladies. I live in Buffalo, New York, so we are having some typical December weather here, snowing and chilly. I'm trying to get my glove back on. So, welcome to day 4 of the 12 Days of Christmas series with 12 different videos, 12 different tips and tools to overcome guilt and prioritize yourself. So, today, if you watched previous on Monday, I talked about setting your sleep. And one of the things that I talked about in terms of why people tend to stay up too late and sabotage their sleep is because they're not getting enough pleasure and enjoyment during the day. So, tip number 4 is to add more pleasure and enjoyment to your day so that you just can experience more joy and peace and fulfillment during the day, as well as feel like you don't need to stay up so late at night to get that time in the evening. So I'm actually out here on a walk on one of my favorite trails near my house after dealing with orthodontist appointments and a sick child and uh, back pain and marriage stuff and all that, all of those things. I was feeling like, oh my gosh, I need some fresh air. I need to get out of work mode, whatever that might mean, whether it's work outside the home, work inside the home, etc. And I need to just get some pleasure for myself. So that is what I'm doing. So there's so many different ways that we can add more pleasure to our days. It doesn't have to be a huge big thing. A lot of people think, oh my gosh, I need an hour or a few hours or even 30 minutes. If you can get that and you have that, fantastic. That's great. It could be as simple as using your drive time to listen to something that you really enjoy, using your drive time to call somebody and check in. I don't know what's going on in my face. Sometimes it gets really bright. Anyways, it could be, turning on music when you're with your kids and cleaning up after dinner and making it a game and dancing around. It could be delegating some chores to your kids so you can have a little bit more time to relax and a little less stress for you. It can be anything that brings you some joy, some peace, and just some lightening. I mean, I have things around my house that I just like to look at, and they bring me joy or they bring me a smile or a song or, something. So, adding more joy to our days. And a lot of times that can feel really, really difficult because our days are so packed with so many different things and it can feel overwhelming, like how can I add more joy to my day? And this is where that prioritizing of ourselves really, really comes in. Is we deserve, I tell this to my clients, and a lot of times it really brings up a lot of feelings for them, and it's a little jarring because they're not used to hearing this or believing this, is that we deserve to have pleasure and enjoyment throughout our days. We deserve to relax. We deserve to have fun. We deserve to take a break. And we deserve not to be working and doing all the time. So that is really, really important too, because if we don't believe that, we're not going to prioritize this stuff for ourselves. And I can tell you that if anyone in your family is struggling with anything right now, which I don't know about you, but I feel like in my family and in my home that it's often like playing whack-a-mole, like there's one issue or one kid is going through something and then you finally whack that down and then one of those other moles pop up and you're like, oh man, now we have something else to deal with. But I can guarantee you, and I've seen this in my own life and in my own family, and it's a practice I'm working on too. I mean, we're never going to get it. It's always a practice. However, when I am adding more enjoyment and fun to my life and I'm experiencing more peace and joy, it spreads to my family, and that diffuses a lot of things because our kids take our cues from us. And so a lot of times when kids are struggling, really who needs the most help are us as parents, us as mothers, and us being in a lighter place and having more enjoyment can really help with so many different things. And if you recall, if you've watched some of the previous videos, in one of them, I talked about, I'm just looking ahead of me, there's a bunch of deer playing on the trail. So that brings me joy. That brings me pleasure right there. So in any case, the number one predictor of a child's well-being is the mental health of their mother. And we all have needs for recreation and play. And a lot of people, a lot of women, moms I talk to, they say, I don't even know what I would do for myself. I don't even know how to add more enjoyment or play to my life. And something that I ask them is, what did you like to do as a kid? I recently purchased myself a light bright. Those of you who may have grown up in the 80s, you will remember that lovely light bright. I did that to nourish that inner child and to add some more pleasure to my days. I also, about a year ago, started doing some adult coloring. And at first it was like, oh my goodness, this is a waste of time. This is not productive. And you know what? It brings me joy. So I challenge you, I ask you, what can you do to add more joy and more pleasure throughout your days? And I'd love to hear your answers in the comments. In the description of this video, if you missed the first 3 videos in the series, click on the link. You'll be taken to the YouTube playlist and you can see all 3 of the videos. If you would like a freebie about self-care, go to shannonstedman.com, sign up for my newsletter, and you'll be sent that as a PDF. And if you'd like to talk more and you'd like to explore possibly coaching, or you'd like to explore an issue and have a 60-minute virtual session, complimentary, please comment or message me. Also on my website, you can book that as well. So I'd love to talk to you, and I hope that you are finding pleasure in your day today. Bye until next time.